Trill stood nervously before the Grand Academic Council of the Galactic Federation, their 6 appendages trembling slightly. The young Viridian had spent an Earth year studying human diplomatic practices, and what they discovered had shocked them to their core. Now, before the most prestigious scholars of 17 species, Trill would reveal the truth about humanity's unusual approach to preventing interstellar conflict. Distinguished council members, Trill began, their vocal sacs pulsating with each carefully pronounced word. I come before you today with findings that contradict our most fundamental assumptions about conflict resolution. The head counselor, Elder Mox, leaned forward. Proceed, Student Trill. Your preliminary report caused quite a stir. Trill activated the holographic display. Images of humans engaged in various activities floated in the air, meetings between diplomats, humanitarian, missions, and peace summits. As we all know, humans emerged onto the galactic stage merely 50 years ago. Prior to first contact, our intelligence suggested they were a species perpetually at war with themselves. Our models predicted they would bring chaos to our ordered galaxy. Several council members bobbed their headstalks in agreement. The Viridian continued. Yet, in these 5 decades, humans have mediated 23 significant interspecies conflicts. They've established diplomatic relations with even the most isolationist civilizations. They've achieved what our oldest members could not in millennia. Trill paused. I sought to understand how. The images shifted to show human diplomatic teams working in disaster zones, setting up medical facilities, and distributing resources. The answer defies our strategic logic. Humans avoid war through what they term compassion, a complex emotional response that combines empathy with action. Elder Mox's scales darkened with skepticism. You suggest their diplomatic success stems from emotional reactions rather than tactical calculations? Precisely, Trill replied. During my research at their United Earth Academy, I observed Professor Gray teach a concept alien to our thinking. When faced with potential conflict, humans first seek to understand the underlying needs of all parties. They view this understanding not as a weakness to exploit, but as the foundation for resolution. Trill displayed footage of a human diplomat, speaking with representatives of the notoriously aggressive Doran Collective, a species that had rebuffed Federation outreach for centuries. Here, Ambassador Lee listens to Doran grievances regarding territory near their home system. Rather than offering technological bribes or military threats, approaches we've attempted for generations, she acknowledges their fear of encirclement and proposes a joint development zone with transparent monitoring. The footage continued, showing the Doran representatives gradually relaxing their defensive postures. The Dorans signed the Proxima Accords 3 weeks later, ending 800 years of isolation. A council member from the analytical Temian species raised a limb. This could be coincidence. One success doesn't indicate a pattern. I anticipated this objection, Trill responded. During my research, I gained access to the personal logs of Admiral Wilson, who prevented war with the Krell Armada 5 years ago. The hologram shifted to show a human military officer in conversation with towering reptilian figures. The Krell misinterpreted our scientific expedition as a military incursion. Federation protocols would have us withdraw and establish a buffer zone. Instead, Admiral Wilson invited Krell observers aboard his vessel and modified the mission to include Krell scientists. When a solar flare threatened a Krell colony world, Wilson diverted resources to assist with evacuation. Trill's voice grew more confident. The Krell commander later wrote, "These humans risk themselves for those they have every reason to fear. This is strength we do not understand but must respect." The chamber fell silent. Elder Mox spoke carefully. You've presented interesting anecdotes, Student Trill, but where is the systematic analysis? The system is their inconsistency, Trill replied. Humans adapt their approach to each species' unique needs, rather than applying universal diplomatic formulas. What remains constant is their commitment to understanding others' perspectives and finding solutions that address genuine concerns. Trill displayed a final set of images. Human diplomatic schools where students from various species trained together, My most surprising discovery was their willingness to teach this methodology to others, including potential adversaries. They call it capacity building, and believe that widespread diplomatic skill reduces the likelihood of conflict for everyone. An ancient council member who rarely spoke raised their voice. I have lived long enough to see civilizations rise and fall. Most believe their way is superior. Do humans share this conceit? No, Elder, Trill responded. They acknowledge their historically violent nature. Ambassador Jones told me, "We know war too well to romanticize it. We've learned through bloodshed what others might learn through wisdom." Their diplomatic corps includes historians whose sole purpose is to remember human conflicts as cautionary tales. Trill concluded the presentation with data showing reduced conflict throughout Federation space, correlating with human diplomatic activity. Distinguished Council, my research indicates we have been approaching interspecies relations through an outdated paradigm. Humans demonstrate that addressing underlying fears and needs prevents conflicts more effectively than our traditional deterrence models. Elder Mock studied the data carefully. Your findings merit serious consideration, Student Trill. What would you recommend? Trill stood taller. I propose we establish a joint Human Federation Diplomatic Academy to study and implement these approaches more broadly. Several human diplomats have already expressed interest in such collaboration. As the council chambers erupted in discussion, Trill felt a peculiar sensation. Hope. Perhaps the galaxy's oldest civilizations could learn something vital from its newest member. Perhaps compassion wasn't merely a human curiosity, but an evolutionary advantage they had all overlooked. In the observatory deck above the council chambers, Ambassador Lee smiled. The first step toward galactic peace wasn't through superior weaponry or economic dominance. It was through the simple revolutionary act of truly seeing others,